So let's ride, let's ride, let's ride, let's ride.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Ronan, and today we are diving into the story of Sam Lufti and his many controversies. I'm sure you guys have heard some. Anyways, here we talk about pop culture and honestly, whatever is on my mind at the time. If you are new here, please like, subscribe, and even share this video if you want to show some love. Although I am new to this, I will be bringing more content like this weekly, and yeah, anyways, enjoy the clips, and let's get it rolling.
I told you guys Britney's nannies and housekeepers always had nothing but amazing things to say about her. This right here is Leah Fran. She was Britney Spears' nanny in the 2006-2007 era. Yes, that was the same time that Britney Spears shaved her head. It's really important to listen to what she has to say about Britney's substance abuse at the time.
I've lived there. I was there 24/7, worked around the clock, and I have never seen meth in that house or any type of drug. If there's anything that was found...
Very interesting, because we've been made to believe all these years that she was on drugs.
It was probably set up by Sam.
Lefty claims he found a bag of meth in the house and flushed it. Is that true?
No, definitely not while I was there. The only alcohol or anything that would be considered a drug that was done by Britney was a glass of wine, and we were out for dinner. There was never any drugs in the house. I was there when all the doctors were there. I was there when everybody was coming in, when the people were there for the kids, the mentors, everything. I was there 24/7 living in the house during the time after she shaved her head until the ambulance, and nothing was ever brought in the house. There were doctors that came in the house, but that's normal. I work for a family now where doctors come to the house to evaluate things and take tests and everything. So there was never meth in the carpet. There were never carpets ripped out. She didn't even have carpeting that needed to be ripped out. She had area rugs. You don't need to rip out area rugs. So all that stuff is just a bunch of BS.
Alright, so that was the first clip, and to me it sounds believable. She seems like she's telling the truth, but who knows? I could be wrong, and I don't know her, never met her, never gonna meet her most likely, and yeah. Okay, so I do have my own personal opinion on Sam Lutfi, and it's not like 100% solid. I don't truly know what I believe in this situation, but to me personally, he just kinda, he gives off weird vibes, like, that's it. It's nothing personal. I don't know him at all. I'm never going to meet him. But with that said, I'm going to play some clips in support of Sam Lutfi. I'm going to play some clips of certain people that have had bad experiences with Sam Lutfi. And yeah, that's it. That's all. Keep it more neutral. I'm not here to sway anybody's opinion one way or another. And I'm just going to leave that up to you guys so you can form your own opinion and make up your own mind about the situation in Sam Lutfi. But anyways, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to play the rest of the clips uninterrupted and enjoy.
That looks like Britney Spears to me. What happened? Listen.
Britney Spears' behavior spiraling out of control, and family seriously considering nuclear option, an intervention to put a stop to the slide. As ex-husband Kevin Federline releases book You Thought You Knew about fighting Britney for his children, Britney is captured on video at upscale restaurant Red O, looking sloppy, her yellow top slipping off her shoulders, dropping items on the floor, unsteady on her feet, and wobbles lifting her glass as if to toast the entire restaurant.
Number one, I don't like it when male reporters and others describe women as looking sloppy. Somehow that's misogynistic. But that's a whole nother can of worms I'll get to in a moment. Right now I'm concerned about Britney Spears potentially driving into oncoming traffic. Listen.
Leaving the restaurant, Britney struggles maintaining her balance as a friend holds her hand, guiding her outside. Britney gets behind the wheel of her black BMW despite protests from restaurant employees trying to prevent her from driving.
Driving erratically, ignoring road signs, squealing her tires as she makes a U-turn against the posted no U-turn sign, Britney speeds away from the restaurant. She has trouble maintaining her lane, swerving onto the shoulder and crossing the center line into oncoming traffic.
With us, an all-star panel to make sense of what we are learning tonight. Straight out to Jessica Finn, senior investigative reporter, U.S. Sun. Jessica, what happened exactly? I know Britney is now saying, that wasn't me. So should I believe her or my lion eyes? That looks like Britney to me. Let's see the video again while Jessica's reporting.
Yeah, it sure does look like Britney. I mean, I think she's pretty recognizable at this point in her life. And unfortunately, it's not for all the good reasons or the right reasons. Britney was at the restaurant, clearly having a good time, partying it up, stumbling around. She was raising a glass to the restaurant. And then we see her actually getting into her car. And this is where things get pretty scary and dicey for not only Britney, but for anybody else that might be coming into contact with her on the road. She flips a U-turn in front of the restaurant after exiting. And then she continues to drive. And the paparazzi who are following her, you can hear them kind of quietly saying, keep your distance. And I think that that's not only to not scare her, but also for their own safety. She's driving down the road. She's driving on a really dark roadway. The only lights on in front of her are her own lights. And she's crossing the middle line, and then she's swerving into the shoulder. And at one point, she actually almost ends up in the traffic would be. We also see her riding down those reflector strips, and those reflector strips are meant to alert the driver that there's danger, that they're crossing into lanes that they shouldn't be in. And I don't understand how she's not shaken, or made more aware of this. She seems to continue to drive on those.
About Britney Spears' image? No. I asked you, had you ever pulled a Yui? And you kind of stuttered. So yes, you have. Stuttering is a sign of lying. Then you go on about Federline. I don't want to hear about Kevin Federline. He's had his 15 minutes of fame, and that was a long time ago when he married her before he started sucking her blood. Now the minute child support ends, he writes a tell-all book trashing the mother of his children. I think that's enough said about him. So you're talking about image. Let's go to a PR guru, Rob Shooter, star of Naughty But Nice podcast. Rob has a brand new book out called It Started With a Whisper, and it's selling out on Amazon. He has worked with Britney Spears. So Rob, are we seeing Britney the way we want to see her or the way she really is?
I've known her for over 20 years. I worked in a PR office. I handled Britney. I've been on many red carpets with Britney. I've been at events with Britney. I've been at photo shoots with Britney Spears. She's always been a troubled young person. And I think Britney hasn't changed so much, in my opinion, but rather the truth has come out. The image, the person that we were sold by the record company wasn't the real Britney. It was a more polished version, which is often the case with celebrities. You hire publicists and managers and agents to put forward an image of you that you want. But I don't think in all the years I've worked with celebrities have I seen somebody that has been so different in reality than their public image. Britney hasn't changed. This is the real Britney. Now we're finally all getting to see it.
Rob Shooter, a PR guru, sidestepping the question beautifully. Okay, let's get to what's happening right now. Not Britney's image and the damage to it, but is she spiraling out of control? Is there another conservatorship on the horizon? We also have her denial that this is her. Well, it is her. So, Rob Shooter, Britney Spears claims the person at the restaurant and driving is a doppelganger, a lookalike. Is it?
This is Britney Spears. Britney's had a long, really unfortunate history with the truth. And often Britney can say things and really believe it herself. Deep down, I'm sure she knows what's really going on, but it is a lot easier here to blame somebody else than to take any responsibility. And even though Britney has struggled deeply, this is just another example of why Britney so desperately needs somebody to step in. It's impossible for Britney to admit the truth to herself. In fact, I would argue she doesn't even believe she's lying. She believes the lies.
Right there. So the manager at the restaurant says,
I'm calling red flags on this. I'm tits deep in this book, and finally the conservatorship came up on page 164. Interestingly, though, Britney Spears describes that time as her running around with the photographer Adnan, but for some reason, Sam Lufti is not mentioned in this book at all. And I find that highly sus because Sam Lutfi was actually the reason that this conservatorship actually took off. Because if you know the real story, while yes, the 5150 hold was what got the conservatorship started, what prompted that was allegedly Sam Lutfi's relationship to Britney. Jamie and Lynn wanted to do anything in their power to get Britney away from this man who Lynn claimed in her memoir later, she claimed that Sam Lutfi was drugging Britney and doing all of this crazy stuff. So if you know the story, you know that they went to the courts and filed for a restraining order against Sam Lutfi and won. And that they used that in order to get the 5150 hold going. They used her relationship with Sam Lutfi to the police to say, hey, she's a danger to herself and to society. Yet, as far as I can tell, Sam Lutfi doesn't come up in this book at all. What's that about? Why are we protecting Sam Lutfi in this book? Please, someone explain. And while the relationship with the paparazzi photographer was sort of a big deal and an act of rebellion on the part of Britney, that wasn't really what prompted this 5150 hold. So why is it not in the book? He's literally been erased from the narrative. But on the topic of Lynn's book about Britney, which she had a lot to say about Sam Lutfi in it, so much so that Sam Lutfi later sued Lynn Spears for what she said in her book. Here's what Britney has to say about Lynn's book. As everything was falling apart for me, my mother was writing a memoir. She wrote about watching her beautiful daughter shaving off her hair and wondering how that was possible. She said that I used to be the happiest little girl in the world. When I made the wrong move, it was like my mother wasn't concerned. She would share my every mistake on television promoting her book. So Britney's in the middle of a breakdown, and Lynn Spears is writing a fucking book and running around TV while they show pictures of Britney with her shaved head, and she goes, oh, my poor little girl. When the book came out, she appeared on every morning show to promote it. I would turn on the TV to see B-roll of my videos and my shaved head flashing on the screen. My mother was telling Meredith Vieira on the Today Show that she'd spent hours wondering how things went so wrong with me. On another show, the audience clapped when she said my sister was pregnant at 16. I was in one of the darkest times in my life, and my mom was telling the audience, oh yeah, and here's Britney. And every show was plastering images of me with my shaved head on screen. The book was huge for her, and all at my expense. The timing was unfucking believable. Facts. She was on morning talk shows trying to sell her book about when I was in hospitals and being driven insane because I was separated from my babies for weeks on end. She was making money off that dark time. Her book made even me believe I was bad, and she did it at a time where I already felt so much shame. Sometimes I talk trash on Instagram. People don't know why I have such anger towards my parents, but I think if they were in my shoes, they would understand.
Your kid will be in an orphanage. I'm going to put you away. I'm going to put your boyfriend away. Laugh all you want. I swear to God, you're going to be in the streets where you belong. I swear to God.
As I'm sure you know by now, Sam Lufti is the deranged psychopath that played a huge role in ruining Britney Spears' life. In Lynn Spears' memoir, she details some of the ways that he horrifically manipulated her. In 2008, Britney was in the middle of a major custody battle with Kevin Federline. He had primary custody and she had supervised visitation. One day, when the security guards came to pick up the kids from Britney's visit, she flipped out and locked herself in the bathroom with her kids, and it led to her being subjected to an involuntary psych hold where she was hauled away by the cops. It turns out that Sam Lufti had told her that she would be allowed to keep her kids for longer, and he was lying. He would also steal her phones and chargers constantly and keep one big battery pack in the kitchen for him to charge his own phone so that she just couldn't communicate with anyone besides him. There are a ton more stories in this book. Listen to our podcast, Celebrity Memoir Book Club, for the full rundown, and let me know if you want a part 2.
Let's talk about framing Britney Spears. Okay, so everyone run, don't walk to go watch it on Hulu, but I have a hot take on it. Not enough time was spent talking about Sam Lufti, the man who arguably caused Britney to need the conservatorship in the first place. Now, he reached out to Lindsay Lohan and was harassing her, reached out to Amanda Bynes in her time of need. He seems to prey upon celebrities when they're not doing so well. Britney's case, I think he saw that she was vulnerable after losing her kids in custody battle and took advantage of the situation, made things worse for her to gain control of her money. Britney Spears' mom, Lynn, wrote about how Sam would yell at Britney in an abusive way and discovered that her daughter was taking all these antipsychotic medications that she hadn't formerly known about. Britney was eventually admitted to UCLA. She ended up finding out her daughter was on Adderall as well. Sam was apparently crushing up all sorts of pills, putting them in Britney's food, and then encouraging her to drink. After after this, Britney ended up on a psychiatric hold and she needed a conservatorship because of her state of her mental health because of Sam Lufti. Free Britney and jail Sam Lufti.
On another episode of Where the Fuck is Britney Spears, this is the kind of stuff that pisses me off. So a few days ago, we called out Daily Mail, TMZ, Page 6, and it worked. Those of you that follow me know what I'm talking about. Why is this not being covered more? Why is the fact that somebody is defending Britney Spears not being put on TMZ, Daily Mail, Page 6, let's tag all of them, okay? Why is this not all over the fucking tabloids and all of these gossip sites? For those of you that don't know, Sam Lufti was Britney Spears' manager during 2007, 2008, a longtime friend and somebody that Lynn Spears sued and tried to push out of Britney Spears' life and actually succeeded with that. So having that said, let me play a clip from Popcorn Planet in this exclusive interview.
They had an intervention, and at the intervention, Lynn was there, Allie was there, and I know Allie publicly tweeted, because I put out there an email that I had with my lawyer saying, hey, can you verify that this is true, that Lynn crushed up, I think it was a Xanax pill, and put it in Britney's drink secretly to hand it to her to subdue her and then drive her up to detox. And Allie tweeted, she goes, yes, that's accurate because Allie was there. And then, she was just, I think, passed out, and that's how they got her.
Sam also goes on to say
The same thing, that, hey, she wanted an extra hour, and they granted it to her, and then they pulled a fast one on her. They said, oh, you're past the hour, it's not turned in, the cops are coming, whatever. And so I went in and said, hey, they're going to do this. And she just was like, I refused to be treated this way. It's not going to happen. I got an hour. I'm getting that hour. And I thought, this is not going to end well.
Once again, using the kids against her.
So mind you, there's no restraining order on Sam Lufti any longer. There is no NDA that he is under anymore, and he is speaking his truth. So why is this not being pushed in the media? Secondly, why are we supposed to believe that this isn't a replica of what went on in 2007 in order to control Britney Spears and make money for the family, the machine that they made her be, so that they could all live their comfy, cush lives? Until I see proof, until I hear Britney Spears speak, until I see that she has actually done something, I will believe Britney Spears' page, and I will believe that this is not her.
They took many things from Britney Spears, and if you consider yourself a fan or somebody who followed what happened to her during the conservatorship, share this video because I think that her story is bigger than anyone realizes. A few months ago, Jaguar Wright did an interview with Liz Crocken where they were discussing the Diddy trial. In this interview, Jaguar mentions what she alleges happened to Britney Spears, and not just to Britney Spears, but the other childhood stars at Disney. Listen closely.
Davis, Lou Taylor. What are your thoughts on Lou Taylor? She's a witch. She should be strung alive for what she done to Britney Spears' life. Do you believe that Britney was trafficked through Diddy and absolutely? Absolutely. All of those girls, all of those Mickey Mouse girls, including Christina Aguilera, all of them, all of these children have been trafficked. Part of the reason why they can't tell you is because they were drugged. Yeah. Most of what was happening to them was happening. And what they have left are the memories and the nightmares. Now they think they're just bad dreams, but they're memories. And because they've been drugged and they've been handled and they've been shrunk to death, they don't know what to believe, but they can feel it.
Now I want you to listen very closely to what Britney says here. It kind of reminds me of something I heard on Blink Twice.
What do you remember about this day? Do you? I have no idea. I don't remember. Yeah. The secret to happiness. No memory. Right?
A few weeks ago, I stumbled across a series of pictures of Britney Spears modeling at 14 years old. And when I looked at the board behind her, my stomach turned upside down. I will show you guys a series of photos, but I cannot point out what I'm seeing here because this stuff is horrendous. And I don't care if you guys say, oh, those were just old bands back then. Tell me this wasn't intentional. Pay very close attention to what the papers say in the background. And tell me if you believe that this was just some random photo shoot in front of a poster board, or if you believe that this was Hollywood predictive programming. Let me know what you find in the comments.
Courtney Love doesn't just hate Sam Lufti, she got a restraining order against him in 2018. Sam Lufti was, of course, the evil manager who was in Britney Spears' life in 2008 when she was put into an involuntary psychiatric hold twice in 1 month. He harassed her and her family verbally, via text, emails. He told her to go choke on opiates and die because nobody cares about you. He broke into her home, and apparently in 2016 he helped orchestrate an attempted kidnapping of her daughter. He also is being linked to Amanda Bynes when she was at her most vulnerable. If you want me to do some digging and find out what he did to her, let me know in the comments and I'll do some research. Britney Spears should be freed and Sam Lufti should have to rot in jail.
So in a connection that we might not have seen coming, Euphoria star Angus Cloud was apparently managed by Britney Spears' ex-manager, Sam Lufti. I know I might seem a little old, but I love Euphoria. I've watched every episode over and over again. And Angus, something so special about him. And we've heard now, more stories coming out about how much he was struggling with addiction and other issues. So it's really difficult to know that because there was just something about him. And it seems like Sam Lufti has a gift for finding people who are vulnerable and in trouble. Is he a manager or is he a plug? I really think we've seen so many times over and over with Britney opportunists like Jason Alexander, Sam Lufti. And it hurts to see that, they couldn't just be eliminated from the scene, that they've been able to go on and hurt other people like Angus. Angus's mother wanted everybody to know a few days ago that she did not believe that he intended to take his life, that he died accidentally. And I understand as a mother how important that must be for her, that distinction. And, also to know that, there was just a struggle that he was going through. She shared a beautifully written statement full of love and pain that was really difficult to read, and I'll share it with you here. I'll get out of the way so that you can pause to read. So heartbreaking, and we do send love to her and to everybody else in his life that is missing him. Angus's former manager, Diomi Cordero, I don't know if I'm saying that right, in a now deleted Twitter thread said that Angus had been showing some signs of trouble for a while. He was actually suing him for over $60,000 in outstanding commissions, and had accused the star of verbal abuse, emotional distress, and severe drug addiction. At the same time, he was expressing concern about the people he was surrounding himself with. One of those people, namely, was Sam Lufti. And, and mentioned that it's incredibly interesting how Sam is somehow always surrounding himself with celebrities who are in trouble, and called out Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, and Courtney Love, and said that it's always in their most vulnerable times, and he's absolutely right. In fact, Courtney Love and her daughter, Frances Bean Cobain, ended up having to get, restraining orders against Sam Lufti for a very elaborate situation that was putting them and other people at risk. This man is literally dangerous, and he continues to be allowed to just be out there taking people into his web. It's unbelievable. I'm sure we can all guess at what's really going on there, but I'm not blaming the victims. I'm blaming this guy who is a perpetrator. So I hope that Sam Lufti is getting more and more recognized, and that somebody will bring this guy to justice, because that's what he deserves, and that he will get out of the picture as soon as possible and not be able to harm anybody else. And again, we send love to Angus, his family and friends, everybody who's grieving for him. And this story is so difficult to even talk about, even though, we try to bring attention to things that are associated with Britney. There's no pleasure in this. It's really disgusting and difficult. So let me know what you guys think about about this in the comments.
So those were the clips, you guys. I hope you enjoyed all of them. I'm going to talk a little bit about just how I feel about this whole situation with Sam Lutfi. And to be honest, he gives me such an off vibe, and that's just me personally. I don't know the guy. In his most recent interview, and I honestly think it's his only interview that he's ever done, his interview with Popcorn Planet that he just did. I'm sure most of you guys have seen it. If not, go watch it. I was actually really surprised to see Sam Lutfi on Popcorn Planet. He just showed up out of nowhere and just inserted himself in Britney's life. Maybe he had good intentions then, and maybe he has good intentions now, but the guy gives off weird vibes. Like, again, I don't know him personally. I've never met him. Like, Sam Lutfi gives off weird, just like, I don't know, leechy vibes. But I could be wrong. Maybe you guys have a completely different opinion on Sam Lutfi. I've been doing a deep dive on this and just like researching into it a lot. And the opinions on Sam Lutfi are all across the board. So basically what Britney's ex-nanny was talking about, she was just saying that she never witnessed Britney doing any drugs. She never witnessed any drugs in the house. That people would come from the state and drug test Britney, and that she would take hundreds of these drug tests. Sam Lutfi also said the same exact thing. To even go into the Kevin Federline book that just came out, basically Kevin Federline was saying that Britney would like kind of hover over her kids' beds at night and with a knife. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, to me, I don't know if I believe that, but at the same time, who knows? Kevin Federline is a user. He's a bum. He needs to get a job. He's been literally living off of Britney for 18 years now. And now that like the youngest of the two kids is turning 18, he is cut off. He has no more money is coming in for him. This is a big money grab. That's 100% what I see it as. And it's really sad that people are still just leeching off of Britney. People are just still manipulating and using her. And the situation that just happened recently with Britney and how she left that restaurant and sped off and drove erratically. I don't know if it was like Nancy Drew, whatever her name is. There was a segment on it, and basically this guy, a guest, was talking about it, and he was saying that Britney was sloppy and she was drunk. There wasn't even a lot of paparazzi, so there's no reason that she should be acting or behaving that way. But at the same time, like, Britney has said, she, in her court phone call, she literally said that she is traumatized. Like, this woman has been through a lot. To that extent, I can't even imagine that, like, even just a few paparazzi is nothing, and there's no reason she should be acting erratic or anything, or however she's acting is just ridiculous. Like, that guy has no idea. And to speak on the leaked Sam Lutfi voicemail audio, yeah, sketchy. He sounds completely different than he does in his Popcorn Planet interview. In that interview, he's very timid. He's backing up Britney. I mean, to me, there are some conflicting things he said in that interview from what he said in the past. But yeah, that audio is kind of damning if it is real. But again, I don't know. It's all alleged. He just gives me a weird, sketchy vibe. I think maybe now he has good intentions and maybe he like feels guilt. But also with basically Courtney Love got a restraining order against Sam Lutfi. There's just so many different stories about Sam Lutfi. Basically how like he either backstabs them, betrays them, or where he's like completely on Britney's team and in defense of Britney, and people have good things to say about him. Like in this Popcorn Planet interview, there was lots of things that were said that would make Sam Lutfi look like a good guy. And then there's the Amanda Bynes thing. Like, he befriended Amanda Bynes, then totally did a 180 and got her committed, set up a vehicle for her to pick her up, brought her to the hospital, and then as she was entering the hospital, she was surrounded by security and I think put on like a 72-hour hold against her will. And like, I know she put out a statement after that, like talking about how she felt super betrayed. Yeah, that's really, really sad. Maybe that was for her own good, because at the time she was spiraling, like acting super crazy in public. I would feel completely betrayed if someone did that to me. Dude, just talk to me. Don't set me up to be put on a 72-hour hold or whatever it was. That's wild as hell. So I honestly think that the way that the media is portraying Britney right now is just like a setup for another conservatorship. It all seems super suspect, like everything going on, it's just kind of weird. People talk about how it was different times back then, and what happened in the early 2000s could never happen now. People wouldn't get away with it. But yet they're doing the same thing, trashing Britney in the media. I would not be surprised if this was all a setup to put her back into a conservatorship. Her ex, Kevin Federline, just came out with a new book I have not read, and I do not plan on reading. I mean, honestly, maybe I will. I don't know for sure. The timing of his book coming out is very suspect. One, I honestly think this is just a cash grab, like I've said. Two, there's so many things happening in the media right now pertaining to Britney. They all just seem like they are a setup. I hope you guys liked all the videos that you just watched, and if you guys have any ideas for anything that you would like me to talk about,
So let's ride, let's ride, let's ride.